Hey there, survivors. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It really helps me keep these stories coming. And if you want to hear new stories before they reach YouTube, check out my Patreon. Members get early access, full text scripts, and clean audio versions. Now let's get started. I find my own mark on the wrong wall before the sun gets over the office towers. And that is the first bad thing of the day. Not the walkers below. Not the cold rain sitting in the roof gravel. Not the empty food bag tied inside my coat. The mark, my mark. 3 short strokes of white chalk under a rusted vent hood on a building I never cleared, never trusted, never touched with a rope line. I stay flat on the tar paper and scrape it off with the side of my thumb. The chalk smears under my glove and leaves a pale skin on the brick. Whoever drew it pressed too hard. A new person would not know that. A new person would draw big. A scared person would draw fast. This one copied the angle, the short tail, the break in the top line where my old chalk had chipped. Not perfect. Close enough to make me look twice. Close enough to make me feel watched, without needing a voice from the windows. Below me, Madison Street is packed 3 deep around a delivery truck. A blue strap taps the open side door each time the wind moves. Tap. 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 The dead walkers keep turning toward it, losing interest, turning back, then turning again. One has a hotel towel twisted around one wrist. One wears a yellow bike helmet. One woman in a torn security jacket has been there since spring. I know her by the jacket and the way her left foot drags. I know too many of them. That is what happens when a man spends 600 days looking down. I wipe the chalk dust on the inside of my coat, not on the roof. White dust on black tar shows from across a gap. I learned that after the first winter, when I thought snow covered every mistake. Snow covers nothing for long. It melts, it slides, it freezes around footprints, and leaves a record for anyone patient enough to read it. My map is folded inside a freezer bag under my shirt. It used to be 6 sheets from an office printer, taped edge to edge, with building names written in blue pen. Now it is soft from sweat, rain, smoke, and my own dirty hands. Every roof I trust has a short name: Dent, Red Door, Glass Cut, Rookery Annex, Dead Gym, Low Hotel, Church Back, Boiler House. The real names stopped helping after the signs came down and the streets filled up. A name only needs to get me from one door to the next without thinking too long. Do not go outside. I wrote that on the front sheet with a carpenter pencil after I watched a man climb down to Wabash for a backpack and never get back to the ladder. Outside does not mean open air. I live in open air. Outside means street level. Sidewalks, alleys, lobbies, loading docks, train platforms, parking ramps, bus shelters, glass doors with bodies pressing from both sides. Outside is where sound has too many places to bounce. Outside is where one loose bottle can bring a block down on you. I back away from the parapet on my elbows and knees. The roof gravel sticks to the wet patches on my sleeves. I do not stand until the old brick service wall blocks me from the windows across the gap. Most people think rooftops give a man freedom. They do not. A roof gives a man a place to be seen from higher roofs, hotel rooms, crane cabs, stairwell glass, and the little black domes of dead security cameras that might not be dead if someone found power. A roof is a table. Anything on it can be counted. My shelter sits inside an elevator machine room, with the motor stripped out and the old pulley pit covered by plywood. I sleep there with my boots on, my map under my shirt, and a flat pry bar within reach. The door has 3 warnings before anyone touches the handle. A bottle cap under the frame, a thread tied between the hinge and a screw head, a piece of pencil lead set on the floor, where a careless boot will crush it. Dumb tricks, good tricks. They work until someone smarter shows up. The cap is moved. Not far, half an inch. Enough. I squat outside the door and stare at it. Rain clicks on the bent vent cover above me. The roof smells of wet tar and pigeon dirt. The cap should sit with the red side up, tucked against the metal threshold. Now the silver side faces me. Somebody lifted the door and put the cap back wrong, or somebody touched it with the toe of a boot and got lucky. I do not believe in lucky anymore. Lucky is a word people use, before checking the second lock. I take the pry bar out and slide the end under the door. The wedge inside holds. Good. The thread inside the hinge is broken. Not good. I keep my face away from the crack and push the door open with the pry bar. Nothing swings. Nothing drops. No wire pulls tight. The room is mine. Mostly. The sleeping pad is rolled in the same corner. The water tins are in the same line. My tin cup is upside down on the crate. But the drawer where I keep my chalk is open by 2 fingers. I stand there longer than I should. That is the stupid part. Not panic. Not freezing. Just a man staring at a drawer, because one open drawer can mean 100 things, and none of them are clean. I close the door with my foot and set the wedge. Then I count my food. I do it out loud, low, since a whispered count keeps my hands from skipping items. 3 cans of chickpeas, 1 can of peaches with a swollen top, marked bad. 2 sleeves of crackers gone soft in the corners. Half a jar of peanut butter with roof grit inside the lid. Powdered creamer. 4 packets of instant oatmeal. Dry pasta I cannot cook without wasting fuel. 9 vitamin tablets. 1 tin of cat food from an apartment off Dearborn. I kept that tin for the day Pride became expensive. The count is the same. The water is not. My back left bottle is missing. Not the clean bottle. Not the one near the door. The back left bottle, tucked behind the crate under a rag, with a strip of green tape around the neck. Whoever came in had time to look. Whoever came in took 1 bottle and left the rest to make me wonder. I sit on the crate and listen. Nothing above but rain. Nothing at the door. Down in the elevator shaft, the cable scrap I hung for sound is quiet. If a walker got into the building below, it would brush the cable sooner or later. If a person got in, a careful person could avoid it. I hate careful people. Careless people are loud and die in places I can avoid. The first winter after the outbreak taught me water before it taught me cold. I had thought snow solved water. A stupid thought. Snow is dirty where it lands. Snow takes fuel to melt. Snow steals heat from anything holding it. Snow hides weak roof edges, dead skylights, and gaps around vents. I lost 2 fingernails hauling a frozen bucket back from Low Hotel because I tried to save a pair of dry gloves. After that I built gutters out of cut office blinds and plastic signboards. Rainwater went through cloth, then charcoal, then into bottles marked by date. If I had fuel, I boiled. If I did not, I waited and took less. Waiting makes a man humble in a mean way. I pulled the green tape bottle from my memory and put it on the map in my head. Whoever took it did not come through the main roof. The cap trap would have moved more. The person got in from inside the building, from the lower service stair, or from the old window washer platform on the west side. I blocked the service stair with a filing cabinet and a soda machine. That left the platform. I eat 2 crackers and a thumb of peanut butter. No more. It sticks to the roof of my mouth and tastes of dust. I want water after it, which is the reason I eat so little. Hunger can be negotiated with. Thirst keeps opening the door. My west route is bad in rain. The window washer platform hangs under the parapet on a rusted rail, and the brake lever has teeth missing from the old gear. I use it only when the roof door to red door is blocked or when I need to check the lower maintenance window. Today I need to check it. Not later. Later gives whoever came here time to come back. I pack light, pry bar, cord, 1 short coil of climbing rope stolen from a gym where half the wall holds had snapped under panic hands, folding knife, tin cup wrapped in cloth, 2 chalk stubs, 1 can of chickpeas, not because I plan to eat it, but because a can thrown down an alley buys a minute if it lands right. I leave the map under my shirt. I leave the cat food. If I have to run, I do not want pride rattling in my pocket. The platform is slick. I crawl over the parapet backward, plant both boots on the metal grating, and test the side rail with my weight before I trust it. The city opens under me in gray blocks. Windows, brick, fire escapes. A bus stopped crooked below. A line of walkers under the tracks. Wind pushes rain across my face and into my collar. I move 1 hand at a time along the rail until I reach the maintenance window. The latch is scratched. Fresh scratches, not mine. Too high for a walker. Too clean for weather. I put my ear near the glass. That sounds useful when people say it. Most of the time it gives you cold glass and nothing else. Today I hear a soft scrape from inside. Then a pause, then another scrape. Someone is not in the room now. Someone left something moving. I ease the window open, 2 inches with the pry bar. A line tugs tight, at ankle height inside the room. Fishing line. Clear. Tied to a stack of empty paint cans. Cute. Cheap. Mean. If I had climbed in the usual way, the cans would have gone down the service stairs, and every walker trapped below would have started climbing the sound. I cut the line and hold the cans with 2 fingers until the tension dies. Then I wait. I count to 60 in my head with no numbers, only finger taps against the rail. Nothing moves in the dark service room. No voice, no boot, no soft laugh from a corner. I slide in and land on the shelf under the window. The room smells of wet plaster and old machine oil. A green tape water bottle sits in the middle of the floor, mine, empty, set upright. A message then, not theft, not hunger. A hand reaching into my shelter and touching one thing to prove it could. I do not pick the bottle up. I crouch and look around it. Dust around the base is disturbed. The bottle sits on a paper square. I pull the square with the tip of the pry bar. 3 words in black marker. Fire after dark. No name. No pleas. No threat. That makes it worse. People beg when begging is the only tool left. People threaten when they have numbers. This person gave me a time and trusted curiosity to do the rest. I leave the bottle where it is. I back out through the window, reset the fishing line without the cans, and climb the platform back to the roof. My hands are wet inside the gloves now. That costs me. Wet gloves are work I will have to fix before night. Small costs pile up faster than big ones. A big mistake ends the day. Small mistakes follow you to sleep. By noon I have checked 4 routes and found 2 more signs. One is a blue cloth strip tied around a pipe on dead Jim. The knot is mine. Not the cloth, the knot. I use a flat half hitch on low-risk markers because it pulls loose with one hand. Whoever tied this copied the knot but left the tail too long. The second sign is worse. A chalk arrow on the inside of the roof door at glass cut, pointing down instead of up. Down means supply. Up means exit. Whoever copied my system knows some of it, not all of it. Half knowledge gets people hurt. Half knowledge also catches tired men who stop checking. I wipe both signs and replace neither. Then I sit behind a bank of dead heating units and watch the streets until my fingers stop shaking from cold. I do not give myself speeches. Speeches waste air. I make choices. First choice, no signal response from my roof. Second choice, no sleep in the machine room tonight. Third choice, find out whether this is one person, a pair, or a crew. At dusk, the first fire shows on a roof west of State Street. Small. Controlled. Orange light tucked behind a low wall so it can be seen from above but not from the street. Good work. Too good for a fool burning office chairs to keep warm. I watch through a crack between 2 metal panels. The rain has stopped. Steam lifts from roof vents, where old heat still leaks from deep buildings with bad systems and trapped pressure. The city is quiet in the ugly way it gets before night. Not peaceful. Waiting. A second fire appears 10 minutes later, farther south. Then a third. The line they make is not straight. Straight would be for amateurs. This bends around a known break in the rooftops near the old theater, avoids a collapsed sky bridge, and points toward the hotel. I marked closed after the stairwell filled with walkers. Whoever set those fires has crossed, at least part of my district. Whoever set those fires knows the high ground, not the streets. I eat half a packet of oatmeal dry and wash it down with 2 mouthfuls of water. It turns to paste before I can swallow. I save the rest. My stomach complains. Good. Complaining means it still expects better. Night movement is stupid, unless staying still is worse. Tonight, staying still lets someone else choose the next step. I wrap cloth around the metal buckles on my pack. I blacken the pale edge of my rope with soot from the old stovepipe. I leave my shelter by the north route, not west. I climb through a broken access panel into the floor below, cross an empty law office, and go out through a window onto a ledge that used to hold decorative planters. The planters are gone. I moved them months ago after one cracked under frost. Every root has a memory tied to it. That is not poetry. That is how I keep from making dumb choices. The law office root means mildew carpet, loose ceiling tile, dead printer room, ledge, short ladder, roof lip. Red door root means chair wedge, glass hall, locked kitchen, broken skylight, long crawl. Church back means rope burn, pigeon mess, slate roof, bad left gutter. A route without memory is a route I do not use. I reach dead gym by crossing the old restaurant roof and the party deck behind it. Dead gym got the name from the climbing wall inside, not from bodies. I had taken rope there twice and paid both times. The first time, a walker trapped in the juice bar knocked a blender off the counter and brought half the street to the front glass. The second time, a man hiding in the locker room asked for food, then tried to shut me in the sauna when I turned to leave. I still have the scar on my palm from breaking the glass panel to get out. People ask first. Doors close after. The gym roof is empty. The blue cloth is gone from the pipe. That stops me harder than a shout would have. I had removed it myself before noon. Now, a new strip is tied in the same place, same color, same long tail. I do not touch it. I get flat and look over the far edge toward the alley. No movement on the fire escapes, no heads above the parapets. The first fire still burns west of State. A shadow crosses behind it, short and quick, not a walker. Walkers do not step around flame. Walkers move toward it until heat or hunger or pressure changes the crowd. I slide back from the edge and head for the service hatch. I need the gym rope room. My short coil will not carry me through a broken route. If someone is setting fires and touching my marks, rope becomes food, maybe more than food. Food keeps a man alive for a day. Rope keeps him from being stuck on the wrong roof. The hatch opens into a narrow stairwell that smells of damp rubber mats. I wedge the roof door open with a strip of wood. Never trust a roof door. Wind closes doors. People close doors. Old hinges close doors, while you are 10 floors down, with a pack full of cans and a street full of dead below. I learned that on day 73. I spent 14 hours in a stairwell drinking water from a toilet tank through a sock. Lessons do not need dignity to stay useful. I go down one floor. Stop. Listen. Down another. Stop. Listen. Sound carries upward through stairwells better than people think. A walker 3 floors below can sound close. A person 1 landing below can sound far if he knows how to place his feet. I keep one hand on the rail and one hand on the pry bar. The climbing wall floor is dim, gray, and wrecked. Holds torn from plywood. Crash mats dragged into piles. Chalk dust on old sweat. Office chairs stacked against the front glass, where somebody once tried to block the view from the street. Beyond the glass, walkers press near the entrance, drawn by something in the alley. Not many. 20, maybe more behind them. Enough. I move along the wall to the rope cage. The padlock is still mine. The small scratch I left on the shackle is lined up. Good. I take out the key and stop before turning it. A candle sits inside the cage, unlit, fresh. White wax, set on top of a coil of blue rope. I step back and look up. The ceiling panels above the cage are shifted by 1 inch. A voice from the dark says, "Don't open that." I keep the pry bar down, not raised. Raised bars make people decide faster. "Come out where I can see your hands," I say. A woman crawls backward from the space above the office, drops to the top of a vending machine, then climbs down the side, slow, careful. She keeps her palms open. Her hair is cut short with a blade or bad scissors. One sleeve of her coat is darker than the other from old rain. She has tape around her left boot and no pack. People without packs are either desperate or bait. "Name," I say, "Nora Venn." "Who set the fires?" She looks toward the front glass. The walkers outside slap at it when a strip of awning moves. "Cole." "First name?" "Vern." That name means nothing to me. I prefer names that mean nothing. Famous men get followers. Unknown men do the same damage without speeches. Nora points at the rope cage. Fishing line on the lock. You turn the key. Paint cans come down behind the desk. Front crowd hears it. He waits on the roof when you run back up. I do not look at the lock. I look at her. You tied it? She does not answer fast. Good. Fast answers are polished. I tied the first one at your window, she says. Not this. There it is. A clean piece of ugly. Why? He had my coat, my boots, and my brother's insulin. That was before my brother stopped needing it. I want to ask more. I do not. Grief stories take time and give no cover. How many? 5 with him. Maybe 6 if Della made it back from the river buildings. Armed? 2 pistols. 1 shotgun with barely anything left. A nail gun they use for noise more than work. Knives. Wire. Ropes they stole. Why warn me? She looks at the rope cage again. You have roots. He wants them. If he gets yours, he reaches the north roofs. If he reaches the north roofs, he reaches the pharmacy floor under the clinic sign. I need that floor before he strips it. Not noble. Good. Noble people die or talk too much before they do. I crouch by the lock and find the line. She told the truth about that. Thin wire this time, not fishing line. It runs behind the desk, under a mat, up to a stack of paint cans hidden in the supply closet. Meaner than the window trap. Louder, I cut it and hold the wire until the cans settle. Nora stays where I can see her. She knows better than to step closer while I have a blade in my hand. That buys her a small piece of trust. Not much. A piece. I unlock the cage and take the blue rope, 2 carabiners, a pouch of chalk, and a rolled harness that smells of mold. The rope is not perfect. Nothing is perfect after almost 2 years of damp and bad storage. I check for soft spots with my fingers. The sheath is fuzzy near one end. I cut that part off and leave it in the cage. Nora watches the cut piece fall waste, she says. Grave, I say. She nods once. No argument. Another small piece. A thump comes from above. Not outside, inside. Roof door. Nora's face changes before she says anything. Her eyes go to the stairwell, then the locker room, then the front glass. She is measuring exits. A person who measures exits before talking has lived long enough to be useful. Coal? I ask. Pike, probably. Heavy left foot. Another thump. Then a scrape. Somebody testing the wedge. I point to the locker room. Back way. Laundry chute to the 2nd floor. Then apartments. Then balcony to the parking structure. Bad gap. How bad? Bad if you're proud. Fine if you crawl. We go. The locker room is colder than the gym. Mirrors cracked over the sinks. Towels stiff in a heap. Someone had slept here months ago and left a line of empty energy drinks under the bench. Nora pulls open a steel door marked laundry. The chute is black and narrow. I shine my covered flashlight down for half a second. Not long. Light leaks. Feet first, she says. There's a torn edge halfway. You first. She almost smiles. Almost. Fair. She drops into the chute, boots scraping metal, then whispers up. Clear. I feed the rope bag down before I follow. The chute takes skin from my elbow at the torn seam. Not deep. Enough to sting later when cold finds it. I land on a pile of laundry that has gone sour beyond any human use. Nora is already at the door, listening. Above us, the roof door gives with a bang. Pike does not call out. That tells me more than a shout. He knows we are inside, and he does not want to feed sound to the street unless he chooses the moment. Good hunter. Bad for us. Nora opens the laundry room door into a back corridor. We move past stacked chairs, a broken vending machine, and a wall with old gym posters peeled down in strips. At the end, a service door leads into an apartment building next door. Someone cut through the drywall and installed a crude plank bridge between structures. Not safe. Useful. You made this? I ask. My brother did. I leave that alone. The apartment hallway on the other side has 6 doors, 4 open, 2 closed. Nora points at the second closed door and shakes her head. I do not ask. Closed doors keep their own reasons. The carpet crunches underfoot from old water damage. Below us, a door slams. Pike or another one, then the first real noise starts. Metal dragged across tile in the gym, slow and hard. The walkers at the front glass answer. Hands. Bodies. the low push of a crowd waking up to work it understands. Nora leads me through the far apartment, empty kitchen, cabinets open, a child's drawing stuck to the refrigerator with a magnet shaped like a hot dog. I do not look at it long. Looking at old family things makes men sentimental, and sentiment makes hands slow. We climb through the balcony door and crouch behind a rusted grill. The parking structure is across a gap that used to feel small from below. From a balcony with wet shoes, it is not small. Maybe 8 feet, maybe less. The rail on our side is loose. The concrete lip across from us is stained black under a drain pipe. Nora points down to a delivery awning halfway below. "If you miss, grab that," she says. "If I miss, I won't be taking advice." This time she does smile. Quick, tired. Gone. I tie the blue rope around the balcony post, then change my mind and tie it around the base of the air conditioning unit instead. The post has cracks at the bolt plate. Pretty things fail. Ugly machine mounts hold longer. I toss the rope across. Nora catches the end on the second throw and clips it to a pipe bracket on the parking structure wall. Pike enters the apartment behind us before I finish testing the line. He is big through the doorway, gray coat, beard wet from roof rain. One hand holds a pry bar longer than mine. The other holds a nail gun with a battery pack taped to the bottom. "Grant," he says. I do not answer. Hearing my name from him is a door opening in the wrong wall. Nora told them more than she said, or Cole learned it elsewhere. Pike lifts the nail gun toward the ceiling and fires one shot into the plaster. The crack is sharp. Below, the walkers answer harder. Outside the apartment, something starts hitting the stair door. He grins with his mouth closed. Not joy. Work. Nora grabs the rope and goes across on her belly, boots scraping air, hands moving fast. I hold the line from our side. Pike takes one step into the room. I throw the can of chickpeas at his knee, not his head. Heads move. Knees make plans change. The can hits. He goes down to one hand. The nail gun fires into the floor. I climb onto the rail and cross the rope without looking down. Not brave. Busy. Looking down is for men with spare time. My boots hit the parking structure wall. Nora grabs my coat and drags me over the lip. Pike reaches the balcony as I pull the rope loose from our side. He swings the pry bar and catches the end, but I cut the knot at the machine mount. The rope drops, sliding through his grip. He keeps the far end for 1 second too long and almost follows it over. He does not fall. Bad luck for us. We run low across the top level of the parking structure. I hate running. Running shakes gear, makes stupid noise, spends water, and tells anyone watching that you have no plan. We run anyway. The structure has cars from the first week still parked in crooked lines. A white van with medical stickers. A black sedan with all 4 doors open. A delivery scooter under a tarp. Walkers move on the lower ramps, their heads turning under us when our boots slap concrete. Nora points toward a maintenance stair. Down one. Up the north ramp, then service bridge. No street, not street. Ramp. Ramp is outside. She looks at me. Then stay here and explain that to Pike. Fair. The north ramp is open to the alley on one side. A chain-link fence blocks part of it, bent inward by old pressure from walkers. We move along the wall, stepping over glass, keeping our shoulders away from the fence. Below, at street level, the alley is packed near a dumpster where something had fallen days ago and kept making noise whenever rats got inside. The walkers look up when our shadows cross the wall. One reaches through the fence and hooks Nora's coat. She does not scream. She turns into the pull, slips one arm out of the sleeve, and leaves the coat in the hand. Clean move. Costly move. Cold will collect payment later. At the service bridge, I stop. The bridge is gone. Not collapsed. Removed. Somebody cut the bolts at both ends and let the whole section drop into the alley. I can see the twisted metal below, buried under walkers. On the far side, a chalk mark waits on the wall. My mark again. A safe sign. A lie. Nora whispers a bad word under her breath. Did you know? I ask. No. I want to believe her. Wanting is useless. So I check the useful parts. Her coat is gone. Her hands are bare. She looks at the missing bridge, then at the ramp behind us, then at the roofline north. She does not look at me for pity. Good. Pity is another luxury item. Pike appears at the top level behind us with another man I have not seen before. Thin, red cap, shotgun held low, too far for clean aim, close enough to shape our choices. Nora says, "Street cut." No. There's a box truck under the far awning. We can cross from its roof to the fire escape. No. She grabs my sleeve. Grant. The bridge is in the alley. Your rule is already broken. Move before they choose where you break it. She is right, and I hate her for saying it clean. We go down. The stairwell from the ramp to the alley door smells of urine, old smoke, and wet concrete. I pull cloth from my pocket and wrap it around my boot soles with cord. Nora does the same with strips torn from her lost coat sleeve before the fence took it. Soft steps. Bad traction. Trade one problem for another. The alley door opens inward. A dead walker presses against the other side, pinned between door and wall. Old uniform shirt, maintenance badge. I push the door slowly until the gap is wide enough to slide through. The alley is not a place anymore. It is a chute of glass, metal, and bodies that still move when sound tells them to. We keep to the wall. The box truck sits 30 feet away with one rear door hanging open. 30 feet on a sidewalk used to be nothing. 30 feet outside is a full day of bad choices squeezed into half a minute. I throw the chickpea can lid, saved from breakfast 3 days ago, down the far end of the alley. It skips once, twice, then clatters under a fire escape. Walker's turn. Not all. Enough. We move. Nora reaches the truck first and climbs the bumper. I step around a broken bottle and put my left foot into old grease. The cloth wrap slips. My knee hits the pavement. Not hard enough to break anything. Loud enough. A walker turns 6 feet away. Nora drops flat on the truck roof and reaches down. I get one hand on the door latch, one boot on the bumper, and haul myself up, while the walker grabs the loose cloth from my shoe. It pulls. The cloth tears. My boot comes free. Another hand hits the truck side, then another. The sound spreads through the alley in pieces. Metal to brick, brick to glass, glass to the open street. We crawl across the truck roof. The fire escape ladder is 4 feet above us. Nora stands on my shoulder without asking, grabs the bottom rung, and pulls it down. Rust screams. The alley answers. "Go," I say. She climbs. I follow. Hands slap the truck roof behind my boots. One catches my pack strap. I twist out of it and leave the small side pouch. Water tablets, spare pencil, one chalk stub. Gone. I do not stop. Stopping to save small things is how men lose big things. We reach the second floor landing and climb through a broken window into an office, with blinds hanging in strips. Nora lands first and turns to pull the ladder up. I help. The ladder sticks, then jumps free with a shriek. More sound. Too late to be precious about it now. Inside, we move through cubicles and find the back stair to the roof. At the top, the door is chained from our side. Not locked, chained. New chain, new padlock, a message in metal. Cole knew we would cross the street cut. He did not need to chase fast. He only needed to close doors ahead. I take out the bolt cutter from the office supply room, where I hid it months ago. Except it is not there. The space under the bottom shelf is empty. I close my eyes for 1 second, not from emotion, to stop myself from searching the same empty space twice. Men waste time denying empty shelves. Empty shelf means new plan. Nora says, clinic floor is 2 down. Pharmacy sign outside. You said north roofs. I said I needed the floor. I didn't say I had a clean roof exit. I look at her then. Her face is gray from cold and alley dirt. Her hands are scraped. She is not proud of the lie. She is not sorry enough for it to help me. You used me to get here. Yes. That answer is better than a speech, and worse than silence. A sound comes from the stairwell below. A door opens. Men, not walkers. Walkers do not pause to listen after opening doors. Nora pulls a small key from inside her boot. There's a medicine cabinet in the clinic. My brother hid things there before Cole took him. I need 1 bottle. You need roof access. Same direction for 2 floors. If this is another trap, I leave you in it. I figured. We go down 2 flights. The clinic is not a hospital. It is a little urgent care place built into the office tower for workers with sprains and flu and blood pressure checks. The waiting room chairs are overturned. The fish tank near reception is dry and green inside. A poster tells people to wash hands. Someone crossed out the smiling faces with black marker. The exam rooms smell of alcohol pads, old dust, and spoiled electricity from machines that died hot. Nora unlocks a cabinet behind the nurse's station. She takes 1 brown bottle, checks the label, and shoves it into her shirt. Then she takes a second bottle and holds it out to me. Antibiotic, she says. Not magic. Better than nothing. I take it. I do not say thanks. Not yet. The men below enter the building. Pike's heavy foot on the stair. Another lighter step. Cole maybe. I do not know his walk yet. And I do not want to learn it from close up. We search the clinic fast. Gauze, tape, 2 unopened saline bottles, scissors, a cracked box of gloves, no food, no batteries. I find a maintenance access panel behind the restroom. It opens to a narrow pipe chase. Warm air moves through it from lower floors where something still runs. A generator. Small. Maybe Cole's. Maybe an old building system coughing along in a basement room. The pipe chase goes up. Not enough space for packs. Barely enough for shoulders. I send the rope first, tied to my belt. Nora climbs after it. I follow, pushing with knees, pulling on pipes I test before trusting. The metal is wet with condensation. Rust flakes under my fingers. Twice I stop and hold still, while voices pass in the clinic below. Cole speaks for the first time. Grant, you already crossed street. No point acting clean now. His voice is calm, flat. He sounds older than Pike, less winded. That matters. Calm men make other men do the stupid parts. He says, I don't want your food. I want the North Line. Give me that and you walk. Nora's boot shifts above me. A fleck of rust drops past my face and lands on a pipe. Tiny sound. I hold the rope until the pipe chase swallows the echo. Cole waits below. Then he laughs once. Not loud. You always were stingy. Always. That word bothers me more than my name did. Always means he has watched longer than a day. Always means reports. Nora, Pike. Maybe someone else. Maybe the man in the locker room months ago. Maybe one of the desperate faces I refused at a roof door during winter. Survival makes witnesses out of people you do not remember. We climb. The pipe chase opens behind a fan room, 2 floors under the roof. The fan is dead, but the belt still hangs on the wheel. I cut the belt off and keep it. Good rubber is never junk. Nora sits on the floor and wraps tape around her bare fingers. She does it clean, not too tight. She has done it before. I use the clinic scissors to cut cloth around my elbow where the shoot took skin. Not bad. Dirty. Dirty becomes bad if ignored. For the first time since the gym, we get 30 seconds without feet behind us. Nora says, Cole was a building contractor. Before. I figured. He started with trades, people who could open places. Plumbers, locksmith, fire alarm guy, window washer. He didn't keep many. What happened to the rest? She looks at the fan belt in my hand. He kept the tools. That answer does not need more. The roof door above the fan room is bolted from the outside. Old bolt, not Cole's. I can work old. I remove the hinge pins with the pry bar and a screw from the fan housing. Nora holds the door so it does not fall inward. It takes too long. My hands are clumsy from wet cold. Twice the screw slips. The second time it hits the floor and rolls under the fan base. I go after it because one screw can be the difference between door and wall. This is the part people in stories skip. The crawling under dead machines for a dirty screw while men with weapons climb the building under you. We get the door loose and slide onto the roof. The wind hits Nora first. Without the coat, she folds one arm across her ribs and keeps moving. No complaint. Complaints are fine when there is time. There is not. This roof sits lower than my north route. Across the gap is the old church annex, then the sloped slate roof, then the boiler house, then a line to River East if the bridge is not cut. The nearest rope anchor I trust is on the church side. To reach it, we need the throw line. My throw line is in the side pouch I lost to the alley. I look at the fan belt. Bad tool. Only tool. I tie the belt to the lightest cord, weight it with the clinic scissors, and throw. It hits the church wall and drops. Too low. I pull back, throw again. This time the scissors hook over a drain bracket. I test it with half weight. The bracket groans but holds. Nora watches me. That's ugly. Ugly gets used first. I send the cord over, then the rope. We crawl across one at a time, not hanging, not swinging. Bodies low, feet against brick, hands on rope. If someone saw from a distance, it would not look impressive. Good. Impressive gets people trying things twice. Halfway across, a nail cracks into the brick, above my head. Pike found the roof. The second nail hits the drain pipe and pings away into the street. Noise below. A thin answer from walkers. Then more. I keep moving. Nora is already across and pulling the rope slack through the bracket. I reach the church wall, get one knee onto the parapet and roll over. A nail tears through my pack flap. Nothing useful falls. Luck, for once, does not ask payment right away. We pull the rope after us. Pike reaches the other parapet too late. He lifts the nail gun. I raise the pry bar, not to block, to make him waste aim. He does not fire. Smart. Battery or nails are low. He smiles with his mouth closed again. Cole steps up beside him. Vern Cole is smaller than Pike. Dark coat, work boots, grey hair cut close. He holds no gun in his hands. That should make him less dangerous. It does not. He looks across the gap at me, then at Nora, then at the rope in my hand. "You got a good line," he calls. I say nothing. Nora got what she want. She stands behind the church vent wall and does not answer. Cole nods, almost polite. "Then she'll leave you the second it gets hard." I believe him. I also believe he would say it even if it were false. That is the problem with men who know how people work. The lie and the useful truth wear the same coat. Cole points toward the north roofs. "You can keep half your map. I only need the line past the river buildings. You cut my bridge. You crossed. You touched my shelter. You left it reachable. That land's clean. I hate it." He is right. I left it reachable because I had grown used to being the only careful man in my little district. A stupid comfort. 600 days did not make me safe. 600 days made me repeat myself. Nora whispers, "We need to move." Cole hears the shift, not the words. "Church roof is bad after rain, Grant. You know that." Slate gives under the right boot. He knows too much. We move. The church roof is the worst part of the old route, and I use it only when every flatter option is worse. Wet slate has no mercy. The slope runs down to a gutter I do not trust, and a drop into a courtyard full of walkers trapped since the second month. The only safe crossing is a narrow path of roof brackets installed for workers before the city died. Half are loose now. I test each with the toe of my boot before shifting weight. Nora follows exactly where I step. That saves argument. Behind us, Pike starts cutting through the lower service door. Cole will not chase across the slate unless he has to. He will send pressure another way. Fire. Noise. A closed door ahead. Men like Cole do not need to be fast if the city is full of tools. The courtyard below begins to stir, not from us, from the alley on the far side. Cole's man in the red cap is dragging something metal along the fence. Screech. Stop. Screech. Stop. The trapped walkers turn toward it, filling the courtyard under the gutter. If we slip, we do not get a second try. Nora reaches the ridge and crouches behind the little brick chimney. I join her and look toward Boiler House. My rope there is gone. Of course it is. The old anchor ring remains, but the rope I hid under tar paper is cut clean at the knot. Not stolen in a rush, removed with time. Cole has not been chasing me today. He has been closing a box built over weeks. Nora says, "I know another way." I almost laugh, not because it is funny, because every awful sentence tonight has started with that shape. "No more surprises," I say, "then look." She points down the back of the church roof to a maintenance ladder bolted into the brick, half hidden by a torn billboard tarp. I know the ladder. I marked it no use after winter split the bottom bracket. From above, it leads to a narrow ledge behind a theater sign. From there, maybe a man can reach the boiler house windows if he has rope and a good hand. Maybe. I marked that dead. I fixed the bottom bracket in April. That turns my head. You were on my route in April? My brother and I used the theater sign before Cole found us. Another truth she saved until it could buy something. I should be angry. I am, but anger gets no vote on wet slate. We climb down the hidden ladder. The repaired bracket holds. Not pretty. 2 bolts stolen from a sign frame. 1 strip of steel wrapped around the rung, tightened with wire. Better than I expected. Nora goes first and waits on the ledge. I follow, keeping my weight near the wall. Above us, Cole reaches the church ridge and sees the cut rope did not trap us. He does not shout. He raises one hand. Redcap starts the shotgun. The first blast takes a chunk from the billboard frame 10 feet from us. Too far, too loud. The courtyard below erupts. Walkers slam into the fence and each other. Birds burst from the church tower, black wings and noise, and every roof in the block hears it. Redcap has ammunition to waste, or panic to hide. Maybe both. We crawl behind the billboard. The old advertisement is for a steak place that closed before the outbreak. A smiling chef with a burned-out face from weather. The vinyl tarp snaps in the wind. Nora cuts a slit near the bottom and pushes through. Behind it, the theater sign frame runs along the wall, a steel skeleton with rusted bulbs and dead wiring. The sign letters make footholds if a person hates himself enough. We move across it. I do not look at the street. I look at bolts. Bolt, hand, boot, wire, bracket. That is the whole world. Nora moves ahead. Lighter than me, better on bad metal. She reaches the boiler house window and works the latch with a broken spoon handle from her pocket. I almost say something. I do not. Everybody keeps strange tools after enough months. She opens the window and slips inside. I am halfway across the sign when Cole's voice comes from above. You know what she did for us? I keep moving. She marked 3 roofs. Men followed those marks. One had a dog. She heard it. Nora freezes inside the window. I see her hand on the sill. Cole keeps going. Ask her where the dog went. That is good work from him. Not loud, not dramatic. A blade placed exactly where the hand needs to grip. I reach the window and climb in. Nora backs away from me in the boiler room. Her face is tight, waiting for the verdict. Later, I say. She nods once, hard. The boiler house is warm. Not comfortable warm, machine warm. Somewhere below, a small generator still runs, or a steam line still bleeds, from a building tied into old systems. The air smells of metal, wet ash, and mouse droppings. Pipes cross the ceiling. Catwalks run along the walls. This building was never meant for tenants. Good. Tenant spaces get searched first. Ugly working rooms keep secrets. I know this place. I used the upper catwalk in summer to reach River East, then stopped after a ladder rung snapped under my boot. My old cache should be behind the insulation stack near the south wall. It holds a poncho, 2 cans, a water filter, and a coil of thin cord. The cache is open. 1 can remains. The filter is gone. The poncho is gone. In their place sits a folded piece of paper. I do not touch it with my fingers. I lift it with the pry bar. A hand-drawn map. Not mine. Cole's. My roots are on it in red. Not all. Enough. Red door. Dead gym. Church back. Boiler house. Low hotel. The north line is blank past the river buildings. That blank space is why I am still breathing. Nora looks over my shoulder. He has been buying pieces. With what? Food, boots, medicine, roof space. Threats when trade did not work. Who sold mine? She does not answer. I turn. She says, I don't know. That answer feels true. It helps less than it should. Noise rises from the church roof behind us. Cole's crew has started across. Not the slate path, the billboard route. They found our ladder. We have minutes at most. I take Cole's map and fold it inside my shirt with mine. Then I pull the remaining can from the cache. Beans. Good. Heavy. Better as a tool than dinner right now. The ladder to the upper catwalk still has the missing rung. I marked it with black tape months ago. The tape is gone. Another small touch. Cole again, or age, or someone else. I do not waste time guessing. I climb around the gap and help Nora up. At the top, the catwalk runs to a broken window facing the river buildings. The old line from here to River East was never a rope bridge. It was a maintenance cable for a sign, thick steel, sloped slightly down toward the next roof. I used to clip in and slide packs across, then move along the wall ledge under it. Dangerous, slow, better than streets. Tonight, the cable is still there. The wall ledge under it is not. Part of the brick has fallen away. A black gap opens where my feet used to go. The winter freeze took it, or a person with time and a hammer did. Either way, my north route is dead. Nora says, "Can we use the cable? For packs? For people?" I look at the cable, then at the drop, then at the walkers moving in the street beyond the boiler yard, already drawn by the shotgun and the metal noise. For one person if the person is light and stupid. She looks at me. I'm lighter. No. You said no more speeches. So don't make one. She takes the moldy harness from my pack before I can stop her. Not fast enough to be a trick. Fast enough to be a decision. She clips the carabiner to the cable and tests it with both hands. The cable hums under her weight. It holds. If I reach the other side, I can secure the rope, she says. If I don't, you go back before Cole reaches the catwalk. I don't know the other roof anymore. I do. There it is again. The piece she kept. I want to tell her to stop saving truths until the last possible second. I want to tell her that is how people end up alone on roofs. I do not say it. She is already on the cable. She moves hand over hand, boots scraping the wall where brick remains, then hanging free where the ledge has fallen away. The harness is old. The cable is older. The city below is awake now, stirred by shotgun noise and metal and our bad luck. Cole's men enter the boiler house behind us. Pike's heavy step hits the lower floor. Nora reaches the far wall and slams one boot against the parapet until she finds purchase. She rolls over and disappears. The rope goes slack, then tight again. 2 tugs. Secured, I hook in and cross. Halfway over, Pike steps onto the catwalk behind me. He does not have the nail gun now. He has my lost side pouch hanging from his belt. The sight of it makes me angrier than it should. Water tablets, pencil, chalk, small things. My things. He grabs the cable and shakes it. The whole line jumps under my hands. My left boot slips off the brick. For 1 second, I hang from the cable and harness, staring at the wall, listening to metal complain through the carabiner. Pike shakes again. Nora throws something from the far roof. The brown medicine bottle hits Pike in the face. Not hard enough to stop a strong man for long. Hard enough. He lets go with one hand and curses. I move. Hand, boot, scrape, hand. The cable steadies. I reach the far wall. Nora grabs the back of my coat and pulls until my ribs hit the parapet. We roll onto the roof together. The rope remains stretched between buildings. Pike starts across it before I can pull. Nora reaches for her knife. No, I say. If we cut it now, the cable snaps loose unpredictable. Maybe Pike falls. Maybe the cable whips and tears the anchor from our roof. Maybe it drops loud enough to bring every walker on the block under us. Cutting is easy in stories. In buildings, force goes somewhere. I unclip the rope from our anchor and feet slack fast. Pike loses tension, drops against the wall on his side, and hits the boiler house brick hard. Not gone. Hurt. Slowed. Good enough. We leave the cable hanging useless and move across the river building roof. This is new ground for me after months of avoiding it. New ground is where habits fail. The roof is wider than mine, with white membrane instead of black tar. White roofs show dirt, footprints, blood, ash, everything. My boots leave dark prints. Nora's prints are lighter. A line of old planters sits along the east side. Dead tomato cages sticking up from cracked soil. Someone tried to grow food here and failed or left. The soil is too shallow, the wind too hard, the water too expensive. Rooftop gardens look good in plans. In collapse, they become thirsty boxes full of disappointment unless a person has time, shade, buckets, and luck. Nora leads me to a roof bulkhead painted green. She pulls twice on the handle, then kicks the lower corner. The door opens inward. This was ours, she says. Ours means her brother. Maybe others. I do not ask. Inside is a small service room with blankets, empty food tins, 3 plastic buckets, and a wall map made from torn delivery menus. Not mine, cruder, human, names in different handwriting. Arrows crossed out, warnings written with emotion instead of system. Bad dog on the west stair. Good rain barrel if cleaned. Do not trust red tarp man. Pharmacy key lost. Blue door squeals. It has a mess I recognize from living, not hunting. Nora stands in the doorway and looks at it too long. I give her 10 seconds. Then I say, "We can't stay." I know. She takes a folded sweater from under a bucket and puts it on under her torn coat sleeve. Then she pulls a tin from behind the door and hands it to me. Peaches. No swelling. "For the rope," she says. "For the bottle." She nods. Accounts matter. A person who keeps accounts can maybe be trusted 1 item at a time. We use the service room for 3 minutes. I tape my elbow, change the wet glove liners, drink 2 mouthfuls of water, and eat 3 peach slices from the tin with my fingers. Nora takes 1 slice and stops herself from taking more. I notice. She notices me noticing. Neither of us makes a generous speech. Generosity with empty packs is theater. A signal fire starts on the roof behind us. Not Cole's old line. Closer. Boiler house. He is telling the rest of his crew where we went. Or telling anyone alive with a map that 2 people are moving north. Fire is not always a call for help. Fire is a finger pointing. I go to Nora's wall map and study the north marks. Her brother's route crosses 3 buildings I never used, then reaches an old hotel with a rooftop pool, then a freight elevator shaft down to a service tunnel. Service tunnel means maybe street level. I do not like it. The alternative is back toward Cole. What's under the hotel? I ask. Kitchen, laundry, loading dock, tunnel to the conference center. Walkers? Some. Not packed unless noise brings them. People? Used to be. Gone now or hiding better. No answer is clean. We take the hotel route. The next crossing is not a rope. It is a plank bridge made from 2 metal doors laid between roofs, bolted to wooden beams. Nora's brother did decent work with bad material. I test the first door with 1 foot. It flexes. Not too much. The wind moves under it and makes the metal hum. I send my pack first, on a cord. Then Nora crosses. Then me. Halfway over, a fire escape below us rattles. A man climbs up from the building under the bridge. Not Pike. Not Cole. Red cap. Shotgun strapped across his back now, hands on ladder. He looks as surprised as we are. That saves us. Surprise is the only fair fight left in the world. Nora kicks the far end of the metal door bridge. I pull the near cord. The bridge shifts sideways 2 inches. Redcap reaches for it and misses. He catches the ladder again, cursing. The shotgun slips from his shoulder and bangs against the wall. Below. Walkers in the alley answer. He looks down. We move. I leave the bridge in place, not mercy. Weight, noise, time. Pulling it would take all 3. We have none. The hotel roof smells of old pool water and wet leaves. The pool itself is half covered with a ripped blue tarp. The water under it is black. I do not go near it. People see water and stop thinking. Bad water is not water. Bad water is work, fuel risk, and sometimes sickness waiting for a weak day. I lost 3 days in summer from drinking water I had no right to trust. 3 days on a roof with fever and no one to check doors. Since then, black water can sit and rot without my respect. Nora leads us around the pool to a cabana bar. Behind it, an access door opens into the hotel top floor. The smell inside is worse than the pool. Mold, old food, closed rooms, carpet that stayed wet too long. Hotel corridors are bad. Too many doors. Too many rooms where a walker can wait without making sound until a person passes. Too many mirrors and corners. Office buildings are honest compared to hotels. Hotels were designed for strangers. We enter anyway. I chalk nothing now. Every mark is a gift to Cole. I use tape folded under door handles instead. Tiny tabs, only I will feel on the way back. if there is a way back. That thought tries to settle. I do not give it a chair. The freight elevator shaft is at the end of a service hall behind housekeeping. The elevator car sits 2 floors below, doors open, roof reachable by ladder. Nora shines her light down for half a second. Nothing moves in the shaft. The smell is dry dust, not rot. Good enough. We climb down to the car roof, open the service hatch, and drop inside. The elevator floor is covered with towels, empty beer bottles, and a suitcase someone opened with a kitchen knife. Nora steps over the suitcase without looking. I look, not for story, for tools. The knife is gone. The suitcase has a sewing kit in the side pocket. I take it. Needles, thread, buttons, a tiny pair of scissors. People leave survival inside ordinary things. The elevator doors open to the hotel laundry level. Machines line the wall, big commercial washers with round doors. Carts sit full of sheets that will never be clean again. The service tunnel door is chained, but the chain is old and loose through the handles. I can work it open with time. Then the hotel alarm chirps. One short electronic chirp from somewhere above. Battery dying or wire crossed. Then another. The sound is small, but the building carries it through pipes and halls. Walkers answer from rooms we have not seen. Thumps. Scrapes. A door handle rattling somewhere in the dark. Nora looks at the ceiling. Coal, maybe old system. Another chirp. Then 3 fast, not old system. Someone is pressing a panel. I work the chain faster. The pry bar slips and takes skin from my knuckle. I ignore it until blood makes the handle slick, then wrap it with the sewing kit thread because tape is down in my pack and I need one hand free. Ugly fix. Works. The chain drops. The tunnel behind the door is low, with pipes along one side and cable trays overhead. Emergency lights are dead. Nora's light stays covered by her fingers, a thin red glow through skin and cloth. We move in a crouch. Behind us, the hotel starts waking floor by floor, not the whole building. Enough rooms, enough bodies, enough hands against doors. The tunnel runs under the alley to the conference center. Halfway through, water covers the floor, not deep, ankle high, cold, dirty. I stop and look at it. Nora says, "We don't have another." I know. I wrap my pant cuffs tight with cord. Nora does the same. Water in boots turns every step after into a debt. We cross slow, no splashing. The water hides broken tile and cable ends. Twice my boot catches. Once Nora almost goes down and grabs the pipe. The pipe clangs softly. From behind, the hotel answers with a distant crash. Cole's crew or walkers, maybe both. At the far end, the tunnel door opens into a conference center kitchen. Stainless counters, big ovens, walk-in cooler door wedged open. Dry storage stripped clean except for salt, baking powder, and a bucket of something that used to be sauce. I take salt, not for taste, for trade, wounds, food, ice. Salt is useful even when dinner is gone. Nora checks the hallway. Clear. Clear means nothing visible from that angle. I have said it myself. It comforts nobody smart. We reach the service stairs and climb toward the roof. At the second landing, we find the first body that is not moving. Man in a brown jacket, old wound, pack gone. On the wall beside him, a chalk sign. My safe mark again, drawn large, ugly, fresh. Nora steps around him and whispers. Cole's people came through before us. No, this was bait for somebody else. The man's boots are missing. His socks are wet and dark. A rope burn marks one wrist. He followed a false mark and paid with everything useful before he stopped here. I do not know his name. I take the small metal whistle from his jacket pocket and leave his buttons. Buttons matter less than time. Nora watches me take the whistle. He won't use it. I say, I wasn't judging. Yes, you were. She looks away first. Maybe. Good. Honest enough to be annoying. The roof door at the top is not locked. That is the problem. Unlocked doors invite speed. I open it with the pry bar from the side and step back. A brick drops from above and hits the landing where my foot would have been. Simple trap. Old. Effective. The brick breaks into 3 pieces and sends dust down the stairs. The walkers below hear it. We go through fast and shut the roof door behind us. I jam the broken brick under it. The conference center roof is broad, flat, and littered with old event banners. Wind moves them across the surface in long, dirty folds. Across the roof, near a row of vents, stands Vern Cole, alone. That word is not comforting. Men like him do not stand alone unless the rest of the room is arranged. He holds my green tape bottle in one hand. "Good route," he says. I keep the pry bar low. Nora shifts left, away from me, making 2 targets instead of 1. Good. Cole sets the bottle on the roof between us. I don't need to make this hard. It's already hard. You're tired. She's cold. Pike is angry, which makes him sloppy, but he'll get here. Redcap is useless tonight, but he can block a door. Della is on the north stair with a pistol. You don't have room. He names the board, without bragging. That is worse than bragging. What do you want? I ask, though I know. North line, pharmacy floors, water roofs. Any locked stair you opened, you can keep your little room. You already found it, and left it standing. Nora speaks. You left it standing, because you need him to believe he has something to return to. Cole glances at her. You always did listen better after losing. She does not answer. Her right hand is near the medicine bottle inside her shirt. No weapon there. Habit. People touch what cost them. Cole looks back at me. Map. No. He sighs. Real sigh. Tired man, not stage villain. You think alone is clean. It isn't. Alone is expensive. Every route you kept private could have moved people. Moved them where? Into your pockets? To roofs that hold. To water. To stores before rats and mold got there. You sat on a city map and called it survival. That one lands too. Not fully. Enough. I did turn people away. Some were dangerous. Some were hungry. Some I never checked long enough to know. A man can be right and rotten at the same time. Cole has built a home in that space. Nora says he takes maps and leaves people behind. Cole shrugs. Slow people make bad routes unsafe. That's not my invention. I believe he has said that before. Maybe to men with hurt ankles. Maybe to women carrying packs. Maybe to Nora when her brother slowed down. The roof door behind us starts shaking. Walkers in the stairwell below, drawn by the brick noise. Cole looks past me. He planned for men, not the dead arriving early. Good. Not good enough, but good. I toss the beans can high to my left. Cole's eyes move. Nora moves with them. She runs toward the vent row, not away. I go right, toward the event banners. Cole reaches into his coat for a pistol. Not fast, careful. I hook the nearest banner with my pry bar and pull. The wind takes it, snapping the dirty vinyl across the roof. For 1 second, Cole is behind a wall of flapping plastic. Nora slams into him from the side. Not a clean heroic tackle. She clips his knees, and both go down hard. The pistol slides across the roof. I kick it under a heating unit without touching it. Guns are useful until every dead thing under you hears one. Cole grabs Nora's sleeve. She hits his wrist with the medicine bottle. It breaks. Brown glass. Pills scatter and bounce into roof gravel. She stares at the lost pills for half a second. Cole uses that half second. He shoves her away and gets up on one knee. I reach him with the pry bar and put the hooked end through the strap of his pack. Then twist. Not his neck, not his head. The pack. Tools control people. He fights the pack by instinct, and that gives Nora space. The roof door bursts open behind us. 2 walkers spill out onto the roof, then a third. Not running, not slow enough. The first trips over the brick wedge and goes down. The second turns toward the banner noise. The third sees Cole moving and heads for him. Cole lets go of the pack strap and backs away. Pike comes through the door behind the walkers, shoves one aside with his pry bar, and yells, "Bad move." Every walker in the stairwell hears his voice and pushes up. The roof becomes math. Distance to north stair, blocked by Della if Cole told truth. Distance to east parapet, too high for rope without anchor. Distance to vent row, good cover. Distance to roof door, lost. Distance to Nora, 10 feet, maybe less. Distance to my map under my shirt, none, and that is the problem. Nora scrambles toward the scattered pills. I grab her collar and pull her back. Leave them. She fights me once, not hard, then stops. She knows. The bottle is gone. Her brother is gone. Some debts cannot be paid after the shop closes. We run to the vent row. Cole shouts something to Pike. Pike tries to follow us, but the walkers from the stairwell crowd the door behind him. He swings the pry bar and knocks one down. Another catches his coat. He pulls free, but loses balance. Cole moves toward the north stair, leaving Pike to solve his own problem. There, the truth of the man, shown clean. Nora sees it too. He'll close the stair, then we don't use it. I pull Cole's map from my shirt and unfold it behind the vents. My own map comes with it. 2 maps in the wind. Too much paper, too little time. The north line I know is blocked. Nora's hotel line is burning behind us. Cole expects us to chase the stair or surrender the map. I look at the blank part on his map. Then at the old conference center roof plan printed faintly under my own notes. There is a maintenance catwalk to the sign tower on the east side. I never used it. Too exposed, too close to the street. It connects to nothing useful unless a person can reach the old elevated train service platform beyond it. I had marked it with a question mark months ago and never checked it. Nora looks at the paper. That goes nowhere. Good. Nowhere is the last place men block. We crawl behind the vents toward the east edge. The banner keeps snapping behind us. Walkers follow sound, then movement, then the next sound. Cole reaches the north stair door and finds it blocked from below by bodies pushing up. His own noise closed his clean exit. He looks across the roof and sees us leaving the wrong way. For the first time, he runs. The sign tower catwalk is a narrow steel grate bolted to the wall outside the parapet. It hangs over the avenue. The city below is a moving dark mess of heads and shoulders. Night has settled. Fires show on 3 roofs behind us now. Cole's line, our trail. Both, I clip the rope to the first catwalk rail and test each bolt with the pry bar. First holds. Second moves. Third holds. Good enough does not mean good. It means no better tool has arrived. Nora goes first. Halfway across, the catwalk dips. She drops to her hands and knees without being told. I follow with the rope between us. Behind me, Cole reaches the parapet. He has the pistol again, or another one. I cannot see clearly. He does not fire. Too much wind, too much movement, too many walkers below, ready to answer. Even now he keeps accounts. You go out there, you lose the roofs, he calls. I keep moving. You hear me? You don't know that side. He is right again. Annoying habit. The catwalk ends at the sign tower. The old sign frame rises above us, letters gone, bulbs broken. Beyond it is the elevated train service platform, lower and farther than I hoped. No bridge, no ladder. A cable tray runs between them, thick with old wires, sagging in the middle. Not for people, not for a smart person. Nora says, "We can go back." No, then what? I look down. Under the sign tower is a narrow ledge along the building face, maybe 2 feet wide, running to a window washer rail. The rail curves around the corner toward the train platform. Old, rusted, exposed. Better than the cable tray. Worse than prayer, and I do not use prayer as equipment. Ledge, I say. Nora looks once. I hate that. Good. Hating keeps attention paid. We lower ourselves to the ledge. The wall is cold against my shoulder. Wind pulls at the pack. I keep 3 points of contact and slide 1 foot at a time. The city is too loud now for small sounds to matter. That helps. It also means every walker for blocks is awake under us. If we drop anything, it joins the mess. If we drop ourselves, nothing needs to be said. At the corner, the rail gap is wider than my arm span. The window washer track resumes past a broken mounting plate. I can reach it with the rope if the hook catches. I use the belt from the fan room, the bean can, and the last clean carabiner. Throw once, miss. The can drops, hits the wall, and falls. It lands on a car roof below with a hard crack. The street turns toward it. Throw twice. The carabiner catches the rail and slides. For 1 awful second it keeps sliding. Then it hits a bracket and stops. I test it. The rail complains but holds. Nora crosses first again, not because I am kind. She is lighter and the rail is not loyal. She reaches the far ledge, braces, and signals with one hand. I cross with the rope under both arms and my boots against brick. The carabiner drags over rust. Halfway, the bracket bends. "Move," Nora says. No panic in it. Command. I move. The bracket tears loose right after my hand reaches the far rail. Nora grabs my wrist. For a second, she has all of me and not enough footing. She could let go and live cleaner. She does not. She drops her weight backward against the wall and pulls until I get one boot onto the ledge. We sit there pressed against the building, both of us silent, the broken rail swinging below. That is the first time I trust her without measuring it. Not fully. Fully is for fools. Enough to stop counting her hands. The train service platform is 10 feet below. We climb down a fixed ladder with half the cage missing and land behind a rusted control box. The tracks run empty in both directions. A dead train sits far south, windows broken, doors open. The platform gives us a view back across the roofs. Cole stands at the sign tower catwalk, small in the dark. Pike is not with him. Redcap is not with him. Della, if she exists, is not visible. Cole raises one hand. 2 fingers. Not a wave. A count. Maybe he is telling me 2 people left. Maybe he is telling me 2 routes remain. Maybe he is telling himself he will see me again. I do not answer. We walk north along the service platform until we reach an old signal room. The door is locked, but the frame has rusted around the latch. I open it with the pry bar and regret the noise after. Too late. Inside is dry enough. That feels rich. A dry room with 1 door, 1 broken chair, a metal cabinet, and a high window facing the tracks. I set 3 traps before sitting. Bottle cap. Thread. Chair leg under the handle. Nora watches and then adds one of her own. A strip of foil from the cabinet shelf tucked near the window crack. Wind will move it if the window opens. Good trick. Small. Quiet. We inventory in the dark. My food. 1 open peach tin, 1 bean can, dry oatmeal, peanut butter, salt, no cat food, no chickpeas, water, less than I want, more than none, rope, blue coil shortened, black cord, fan belt, 1 good carabiner, 1 questionable, medicine, 1 antibiotic bottle, gauze, tape, no pills Nora came for, tools, pry bar, folding knife, sewing kit, scissors, whistle from the dead man, chalk stub in my pocket, 1 pencil gone, Nora has the sweater, 1 torn coat sleeve, tape, spoon handle, small knife, 1 empty bottle, and the pharmacy key that already did its job. Not much for 2 people, too much for 1 person to carry quietly. That is the new problem. Sharing does not make supplies bigger. It makes mistakes easier to catch and food go faster. People forget the second part when they talk about not being alone. Nora sits by the cabinet and rubs her taped fingers. "The man with the dog," she says. I do not ask. She speaks anyway. I marked the roof. Cole had my brother downstairs. I thought the man would lose his pack, not the dog. The dog barked at Pike. The walkers under the hotel heard it. The man jumped to the next roof and left the dog. I heard it for a long time. I look at the door while she says it. Easier than looking at her. "I can't fix it," she says. "No." I wouldn't believe me either. Good. She lets out a small tired sound. Not quite a laugh. "You're a warm guy." "I had a warmer coat this morning." She looks at her missing sleeve, then at me. Fair. That little bit of stupid talk helps more than it should. Not comfort. Function. People need small normal sounds, or they start making big foolish ones. We sleep in shifts. I take first watch. Nora does not argue. That also helps. Outside the signal room, the tracks tick in the cold, metal contracting. Not footsteps. I check anyway each time. In the far roofs, Cole's fires die 1 by 1. The city keeps moving below. Stirred up and restless, but the train line holds above it. During my watch, I unfold both maps on the concrete floor. Mine looks cleaner than Cole's, and that makes me distrust it. A clean map can lie by being too confident. Cole's map is uglier, but it shows what he knows. Red door, dead gym, church back, boiler house, low hotel, the hotel tunnel, the conference roof. My old machine room sits in the middle of the page, with too many lines running toward it. I take the pencil stub from my pocket and draw a black X over the machine room. That hurts more than losing the food. A shelter is not walls. It is the cup on the crate, the board that creaks near the door, the place where rain leaks only after wind from the lake, the exact sound the hinge makes when someone touches it from outside. I know that room better than I know my own face now. I know where the roof felt lifts, where the old pulley pit takes damp, where the cap trap sits when nobody has touched the door. And I cannot go back. Nora wakes before I say anything. She sees the X and stays quiet for a while. "You sure?" she asks. "No." She accepts that. Smart woman. People who demand certainty after a night like this are usually trying to borrow it from someone else. I cut the old map into 2 piles. One pile I keep. Watermarks, winter rooms, roofs Cole never saw. One pharmacy floor I never entered because the street under it stayed packed all spring. The other pile is poison now. Routes he touched, doors he knows, marks he copied. I tear those strips smaller, soak them in water from the bottle, grind roof dust into the paper, and push the pulp into a drain under the signal room window. 600 days of pencil lines disappear into a rusted drain before dawn. No speech fixes that. No lesson makes it clean. I did not outgrow the old map. It got taken from me piece by piece, until keeping it whole became another way to get trapped. Nora watches the drain. You could have sold that to him, and then he would own every mistake I made while drawing it. She nods. Fair. We leave the signal room before the sky turns fully gray. The tracks are slick. Wind runs along the platform and pushes cold through the wet parts of my coat. Below, the streets are restless from last night's noise. Walkers crowd intersections where the car alarms had screamed. Some stand with their heads tilted toward dead sound, waiting for it to come back. Others drift into alleys, bumping doors and old trash cans. The ground has not forgiven us for touching it. We move east along the train line, not north. Cole expects north. Cole expects a man to run toward the routes he saved. I spent 600 days doing that. Today I do the thing that makes my hands itch. I use a line I never finished. The east platform leads to lower roofs with old brick edges and fewer glass walls. Bad for views, good for hiding. We cross a printing shop through a roof hatch with a broken latch. Then a radio repair office with shelves of dead parts. Then a narrow roof over a closed diner where rainwater drips from an old sign into a plastic bus tub. The water is ugly, but moving. Moving water is not safe. It is only less lazy about becoming poison. I strain it through cloth and make Nora wait while I boil enough of 2 small drinks. She does not argue. That matters. A person who can wait for water can maybe share a root. Maybe. While the tin cup sits over the stove, she takes the chalk half from my pocket without asking and draws a mark on the inside of the diner roof door. Not my old safe mark. A shorter version. 2 cuts in the bottom line. What is that? I ask. Water if desperate. Bad stair below. Don't trust the sign on the next roof. You made all that out of 4 lines? I made 3. The 4th is for you to complain about. I look at the mark again. It is ugly. Too visible if the door is open. Too low if snow piles against it. Too personal. I should correct it. I add 1 tiny cut near the hinge instead. There, I say. Now it says the east latch sticks. She studies it. That is annoyingly useful. Try not to sound grateful. Wouldn't want to scare you. The water boils. We drink in turns from the tin cup, wiping the rim with a strip of cloth between us, because old rules still help when the world gets filthy. The drink tastes of metal and smoke. It is warm. Warm is enough. From the diner roof, I see smoke rising far behind us, thin, straight, from the direction of my machine room. I stand there with the cup in my hand until Nora says my name. Not loud, not soft, just enough. I put the cup away. Maybe Cole burned it. Maybe Pike found my stove fuel. Maybe one of my own traps failed after the door got forced. Distance turns every answer into the same useless thing. The room is gone either way. If it is not gone, it belongs to the people who found it. Same result. We keep moving. By midday, we reach a roof with an old radio mast bent toward the street. The service room under it is dry, and dry feels rich now. Inside are dead batteries, wire spools, a cracked chair, 2 shelves of empty boxes, and a wall calendar from before the outbreak, with smiling people at a lake. I take the wire. Nora takes the calendar down, folds the blank back page, and gives it to me. For the new map, she says. I almost tell her paper gets stolen. I almost tell her maps make men lazy. I almost tell her half a dozen things that were true yesterday, and not enough today. Instead, I take it. We do not draw the whole route. We draw only what we checked with our own feet. Signal room, train line, print shop, diner water, radio mast, bad stair, sticking latch, smoke south, coal active, Della uncertain, Pike hurt, not gone, Alden unknown. The map looks poor and thin, honest then. Nora writes one line at the top. Do not go outside alone. I stare at it. That's not my rule, I say. No, she says. It's the one that got us here. I want to argue. I have 600 days of arguments. People eat food. People move caps. People touch drawers. People lie about doors and save the ugliest truth until a wet roof gives no better option. People also catch your wrist when the rail breaks. People share gloves when fingers stop working. People fix ladder brackets in April and forget to mention it until the bracket keeps you alive. I take the pencil and write the same line under hers, smaller, in my own hand. Do not go outside alone. The rule has not become soft. Outside still means street level. It still means alleys, loading docks, glass doors, parking ramps, train platforms, and dead hands turning toward every sound. The rule became harder. Alone was simpler. Simpler got my shelter opened and my roots sold back to me by a man with signal fires. Late afternoon comes in cold and dull. We set the radio room for the night. Bottle cap under the door, thread at the hinge. Foil strip near the window, birdseed on the sill from Nora's pocket, not for birds, for movement. Chair leg under the handle, 2 exits marked, 1 rope ready, water low, food bad, hands sore, map incomplete. Incomplete is better than stolen. Nora takes first watch. I let her. That is not trust in the clean way people used to mean it. It is a decision made with bad data, wet boots, and no better roof. It is one more route marked maybe safe until proven otherwise. Before I close my eyes, I listen to the room. Wind at the window, foil still, birdseed still, bottle cap in place. Nora shifts once near the door, quiet enough. Below, far down at street level, a walker bumps a trash can and the sound rolls away without finding us. For the first time in 600 days, the silence above me belongs to 2 people. I do not know if that saves us tomorrow. Tonight it gets the door checked twice. Thanks for listening to tonight's story. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment. It helps more people find these stories. New episodes appear first on Patreon, along with clean audio, full text versions, and more members' content. The link is in the description and pinned comment. Stay safe out there, survivors.